Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Deck Tech. So today we're talking about Taborax and specifically the Shadowborn core. Okay, so in this video, it's gonna be a little bit different from the previous ones. We're gonna be talking about cores and shells. Okay, most players actually build a deck talking about a certain card in mind, like maybe their whole commander deck is built around the commander, or maybe it's built around a card or a theme or whatever. There's things like hidden commanders that are very popularized, especially by people like other content creators, like I think the most prominent ones are the command zone and their game nights. They showcase like, oh, this is like a hidden commander and you should do this, and they've had tons of episodes like that. But that's just a core. Okay, so that's what the core means. It's something that the rest of the deck surrounds, and so everything else is just a shell or multiple shells of that one core that is the centerpiece of the deck. Okay, so let's talk about that a little bit deeper in this deck. Okay, so usually the Shadowborns are a shell that's centered around another demon. For example, maybe the centerpiece of this deck is going to be Rasiketh, right? So Rasiketh would be the centerpiece, but Rasiketh is a demon, and so Shadowborns are going to be that vehicle that gets you the demon. Okay, and so the demons themselves become a core, and then the Shadowborns also are part of that core because they are so intrinsically tied, because 6 Shadowborns are essentially a demon, therefore they become part of that core. And so the rest of the deck is then going to be working around the Shadowborn, because the Shadowborn is a demon, and the demon, it's gonna become adjacent to them as well. So it's all kind of like intricate and convoluted. But the real point is this one: Shadowborns are very unique, they're very useful, and yet they are not what we want to do. They're just the vehicle. So the other demons are the ones that we choose. So for example, Rasiketh is a really good demon, but that's not gonna be the commander. The commander is also gonna be another vehicle kind of situation. We chose Taborax because Taborax costs 3 mana, not 8, not 8, not 5, not 7. Okay, it's not a big one, but it does have a very interesting effect, and it says that whenever another non-token creature you control dies, you put a 1/1 counter on Taborax, and if it was a cleric, ding ding ding, you may draw a card, and if you do so, lose 1 life. That is an amazing effect, because when we get rid of 6 Shadowborns, we're going to draw 6 cards, and that's amazing, because if you want to look for cards with the demons, that's good, but no matter what the demon you get, you're still drawing those 6 because you're sacrificing 6 for just 1 mana. So imagine this: if a card said pay 6 life, pay 1 mana, and search for a card, search for a demon, and draw 6 cards, that would be amazing. That's like Griselbrand with extra steps, and that's a banned card. So that's how good this is, but you need to accrue the 6 Shadowborns over time. So the draw that this guy gives, even if it's 1 by 1, is gonna be making up for it most likely. So that's the kind of core that we have around here. But yes, like I said, the demons become adjacent to the Shadowborn, and the Shadowborn become adjacent to the demons, because they're kind of essentially the same thing. But there are some that you want to play, there are some that you want to look for with them. So here we have Villis, Broker of Blood. So this is a very good card, and so what you can do is, when you lose life, draw that many cards. So let's say you have Villis and you have Taborax, you lose 6 life, oh hey, draw 6 cards. So therefore those 6 that you drew with him become 12. That's like amazing, and it's kind of win more. But if you already looked for Villis with the Shadowborn, these trigger, and then this one came in, so ETB solves, trigger on the stack, then this guy is going to see this guy's trigger resolve. Therefore when we lose a life, we draw, and that's instantly, so you get 12 cards instead of 6, and that's amazing. We also have Craft the Unredeemed. We can actually play this card or look for this card, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, sacrifice X creatures for 1 mana, and then target player draws X cards and gains X life. So instead of losing, we are drawing and gaining. So that's another draw power. And then we have the Runes card and the Razaketh, which are gonna be tutors, and they are very, very good. Then we have the other two, which are different. So Archfiend of Depravity is kind of like a floodgate. So how it works is we have at the beginning of each opponent's end step, that player chooses up to 2 creatures he or she controls, then sacrifices the rest. So this is gonna be an eternal board wipe. As long as it's there, you are going to sacrifice everything but 2, everything but 2, everything but 2, every single one of their turns, not ours. So this does not affect us. It is very asymmetrical, and that's super good. And then Dream Devourer, just to have another demon. We don't really need this one, but yeah, it has Foretell, so it reduces cost early game, and then you can pay the rest when you have leftover mana. But yeah, any one of these demons can be looked for by the Shadowborns, but you want essentially these 4. And the reason why I say 4 is because Liliana's Contract lets you win the next upkeep that you have 4 demons. And it also is a draw card, because whenever it comes in, you lose 4 life, but you draw 4 cards. Hey, you lost 4 life, you draw 4 more. See? So it all adds up together, okay? So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. And oh, by the way, yeah, Shadowborn has a little bit more. Let me give you some extra tips. Extra tips right there. So Thrumming Stone, so that you can get those Shadowborns all together, right? So it's gonna be Ripple 4. So you play a Shadowborn, you look at the top 4. If there's a Shadowborn, you play it, you look at the top 4. If there's a Shadowborn, you play it, you look at the top 4, and you keep going, and maybe you get to 6 quicker. You also have, remember, this is kind of like the draw aspect of the deck. You also have Skull Clamp, which lets you sacrifice a Shadowborn essentially, so that you draw 2 cards at the cost of 1, and then 1 more every time you equip. So imagine a card that says pay 1 mana, draw 2 cards. That's what it says. 1 mana, 2 cards every single time. And then we have our Village Rites to have a little bit more draw. So sacrifice 1 creature for 1 mana and draw 2 cards. And then when you sacrifice a Shadowborn, Taborax is going to let you lose 1 life and draw 1 card. Same with Skull Clamp. So this draw 2 becomes a draw 3. This draw 2 becomes a draw 3. And then if you had Villas on, well, that's gonna let you lose 1 life. It becomes draw 4. This one too. So I think it's a very, very good set of cards. And yeah, why do we want this? Well, it's not only for the draw aspect. Sometimes this can actually become a lethal weapon. We can actually use this to do damage. So if we have aristocrats like Blood Artist, or there's many, the Falcon Wrath Noble, and all the other things, you can even draw with it. You can, with Pitiless Plunder, you can actually create treasure tokens with it. But yeah, all the aristocrats that are going to either heal you up, do damage, or create a treasure, or draw you cards, they're all gonna trigger on your stuff leaving the battlefield or dying. Therefore, if 6 Shadowborns leave the battlefield for 1 demon, what's gonna happen is everyone loses 6 life at the same time, or target player, depending on what it says, and then you gain 6 life. And now with Villas, if you lost a life, you gain 6. You gain 6, so you lost nothing. But then this one lets you lose 6. This one lets you draw cards. So this one sees the loss, makes a loss that this one sees, and this one makes up for it. That kind of thing is very, very powerful. You also have cards like Grave Pact, where you sacrifice 6, so everyone else has to lose 6. That's very detrimental. That's kind of like Archfiend of Depravity, which is just going to be like a board wipe constantly every time you do stuff. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and let me know what you guys have thought about before in terms of cores. Okay, so this is going to be the core of the deck. There's many cards. This is almost a fourth of the deck. But yeah, they all work the same way, and they're very interchangeable. They're really good. So yeah, you could win with them through Liliana's Contract, or this could be a distraction, and then they try to get rid of this, or try to get rid of the demon so you don't win with this. And then, you know, like, oh, finally we got rid of a demon, but there's another one. Now let's get rid of the enchantment. Oh, but there's another one. Now let's get rid of the Shadowborns. Oh, there's another one. And all in all, what you're still doing is value, regardless of how much they spend their answers, or their, I don't know, their removal or their counters. You know, they're spending stuff on things that don't matter. This is actually very much a distraction, because they're so versatile that they already did what they wanted to do. So when we're talking about, hey, this is my win con. No, it's not. My win con is a Shadowborns. And my win con is the Rassicats looking for stuff. My win con is Archfiend of Depravity getting rid of your stuff. It's you losing life, you know? It's me drawing cards so I can make a combo. So everything is my win con, therefore none of it is. And that's how it's gonna look in their eyes. They're gonna try to piece out this, oh, let's get rid of it, get rid of it, get rid of it, get rid of it. And they're not really doing any damage. This already came in, already tutored. This already drew you. This already tutored. This already drew you. It's something that happens, and it's just distractions, you know, smoke and mirrors. So let me know what you guys think in the comments, as well as like, share, subscribe, and follow for more. I will see you on the next one. Peace out.